Welcome to the Little House on the Prairie Review. I am R. Lee Ingalls, an author, writer, and member of the Ingalls family. I often work on the history of our family, moving past the Laura Ingalls Wilder generation and into current generations.
And I am Brett Cullum, a pop culture critic of movies and theater, someone who brings in a lot of entertainment industry knowledge.
This podcast, we're going to cover the Netflix reboot of The Little House on the Prairie, which is scheduled for release in 2026.
We will also look at the books written by Laura Ingalls Wilder, the television show from the 70s, and all things Ingalls family related.
Hope you enjoy it. Hi everyone, thank you for joining us. R. Lee Ingalls here. I am author, writer, and a member of the Ingalls family that was the subject of the Little House on the Prairie books and TV series. And I'm joined with Brett Cullum. He is an entertainment industry expert. So I'm going to provide the voice of the Ingalls family, or a voice in the Ingalls family, where he's going to supply the expertise on the shows and entertainment side of it. So today we're going to talk about some new cast announcements for the reboot of the Little House on the Prairie series.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and recap the people that have been cast so far, just because to catch anybody up that doesn't know yet who all the main people are. And it's not a huge cast right now. It doesn't look like there's a ton of characters, but we've got Alice Halsey as Laura Ingalls, so that makes sense. Of course, you may know her from Lessons in Chemistry on Apple Plus. Got Luke Bracey as Pa, or Charles Ingalls. Crosby Fitzgerald as Caroline Ingalls. She is in there. Skywalker Hughes as Mary Ingalls. And then we've got Jocko Sims as Dr. George Tan. So he's part of the main cast. And so is Warren Christie. He's going to be playing a character called John Edwards. And there's an actor named Ren Jawinam Gotts, who's going to play Good Eagle. And she's a young Native American actress. And then we've got Migwen Fairbrother as Mitchell, and he's a Canadian actor who's going to be playing the role of Mitchell, obviously. And then Alyssa Wapunatak is going to play White Sun. So she's an Indigenous actress in Canada. So looks like a lot of the Ingalls family cast, obviously. Some Indian roles as well. And they have fleshed it out a little bit with the recurring people. And when I say recurring, it means that they may not be in all the episodes, but they will be in a good majority of them. So they just recently cast Xander Cole as a character called Little Puma. And he is from Garland, Texas. And he's done television and film, including a show called The Web of Spider-Man. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you maybe know Xander. We also have Barrett Doss is going to be playing a character called Emily Henderson. She is known for a show called Station 19, which was a great run on HBO, and The Noel Diary. Doss is going to play Emily Henderson, which is a charming woman who excels at interacting with people, handles numbers. She runs the general store, and she takes in Caleb, an orphan boy who wanders into town. So she is one of the townspeople that is going to be in there. Not a direct Ingalls, but somebody that's a neighbor or whatever in the town. We also have Mary Holland. She's going to be playing a character called Gemma James. And Mary is kind of a big deal because Mary is an actress and a comedian. She was in The Happiest Season, Golden Arm, Ghosts on CBS, if anybody's familiar with that. And also a Netflix show that we watched previously, The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. It was a comedy thing on the murder mystery thing. Yeah, so she's going there. Her character is married to another character called Eli James, but she is kind of a confident woman, has an air of big city, and is the town's busybody. So there you go. We've got that. Playing her husband is Michael Huff, and he was known for a series that we watched as well, Chapelwaite. Do you remember that? It was kind of the Stephen King Salem Slot prequel. Yep. Michael is also part of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. So there you go. Eli James, the character, is somebody who works for the railroad, is supportive of newcomers arriving in Independence, which is, I guess, where they're going to be in this first series. So let's see.
And I have been to the site in Independence, Kansas, previously. So yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty good location.
And another role, Cowan Kodorith is going to be playing Caleb, an actor known from Sky Med, which is a series. It's a skinny, prairie, handsome preteen. He's been orphaned. Obviously, I mentioned him before. He gets adopted by the woman that runs the general store. He doesn't say much, but he gets taken in by Emily, and she gives him a job in the general store. So there we go. We also have Thosh Collins. He's going to play Louis Known in the character. He is an actor that is in It, Welcome to Derry, which we haven't seen yet, because that's coming to HBO soon. And he was also in Reservation Dogs. So Collins is going to play Louis, who is White Sun's good-natured and level-headed cousin. So again, another cast member that's going to be doing kind of an American Indian character. We also have McLean Fish as Adam Scott. He was in a series called Shoresy. Fish is going to play kind of a boyish, handsome, but soft person. He appears as though he hasn't had a day of hardship in his life, so somebody who comes into the independent settlement without much work experience. And then there is Rebecca Mzelag, and she is going to play Lacey Aubert. She is known for a series called Titans, and Amalzeg will play kind of a beautiful and happily widowed outcast who owns a card room and a bar on the edge of town. So a little bit of that.
Yeah, very interesting.
One of the things I thought was really interesting that we've talked about a few times, no Nellie Olson.
Nope,
So
not
we
yet.
don't have that. We don't have the Olsons in there yet. And Melissa Gilbert is mentioned in the casting as well. She will probably have either some kind of cameo, or maybe she'll play an older version of Laura and introduce us to the story. I don't know, but
Be interesting to see her and how they bring her into the production.
Right. So a little bit of an OG
Yeah.
shout out for that. So we'll see how that develops, but no details on exactly who she's playing yet.
Yeah. And I wanted to say this about Melissa Gilbert. So I did have an opportunity to meet her when she was in Houston. She was performing in the musical version of Little House on the Prairie, and they invited me backstage to meet her. And she was very, very kind. And she said that every time that she got a chance to meet one of the Ingalls family members, that she took the opportunity to do that because in her viewpoint, it was the Ingalls family that gave her a career. So I thought that was very thoughtful of her, very kind. So the person that you see on screen was very much who I met backstage. So,
Yeah.
It's
always
nice
nice
she
when-
has a role in there.
It's always nice when actors kind of are what they seem to
Yes, absolutely.
be. Sometimes rare.
Yeah. So kind of moving on, one of the other things that we have noticed was the change in the comments and how the new production is being received. So I first posted about this a few months ago, and the comments that I got were very, very negative. Nobody was really looking forward to having a reboot. Even a video that I created some time ago, I said it's going to be hard to compete with the actor's original portrayal of those characters. They were iconic in those roles, and everybody who thinks of the family thinks of their delivery in the TV series, the previous TV series. However, we're seeing a switch in that, and I think that may in part come from a comment that was made at, I think it was the Laura Palooza event about a month ago now. There was one of the people with the current production there at the event, and it was stated there that one of the reasons for rebooting the series was that Laura's works are important, and they should continue to be enjoyed by generations. Had they not done this reboot, that eventually the people in that room would be gone. The room would be empty. So this is an attempt to reintroduce the stories to another generation of our society, as well as then capture those current fans of the original series and the books. So I thought that was very well stated. We are certainly seeing the change in the comments that I get on my posts and we see out there on social media and the news media, etc. So I thought that was very interesting, and I'm happy to see that I'm a big fan of seeing the show being rebooted. And then there was another thing that we saw that came up the other day. So I saw a video that originally, the way that I read it and saw it, I thought that it was released by Netflix and of course sanctioned by them. And it was a very well done video, except it was all CGI, you could tell. But it again, well done. But then on closer inspection, I found not only was it not sanctioned by Netflix, but it also wasn't done by Netflix. It was done by somebody else. But I thought it was very respectful to the new production. The quality of it was really good. Would you say that or no?
Yeah, it was an AI-produced video that incorporated a lot of the faces of the people, the names that I just read, and maybe even had some characters that weren't in it, because it almost had a Nellie Olson type character in it.
Yeah, they did.
But it didn't turn out. It's not, but it is indicative of how excited people are to get anything out there. And so some people are trying to fill that void just by putting their fantasy stuff out there. So and nothing wrong with that. It definitely creates some anticipation, I think.
No, and if you want to see it, there will be a link to that video in the comments of this video. So look for that. The second one that we saw, there was some discussion early on. This was before the announcement by Netflix of the series being rebooted but differently and capture a different time in Laura Ingalls Wilder's life when she was already an author, and then having it look back. So there was a link out there to a video that I can't find now. So I don't know if the video was taken down or what happened to it. And maybe it just got lost in there somewhere. But it was Little House on the Prairie 2. So it was supposed to be Laura Ingalls Wilder when she's married to Almanzo, and Rose, her only child, is a schoolgirl. So the problems with that is that Laura wasn't an author when Rose was a schoolgirl. It was later in life that she started writing her books. So the timing of it was not correct. But they did say one thing that I thought was kind of interesting. That was that Rose was kind of a headstrong young girl. And that I can believe. That's kind of an Ingalls trait.
Well, it kind of reflected in the original series, too, with Laura and all of them as well. So it makes sense, I'm sure. But it sounds like they might have some element of that in this if they do bring back Melissa somehow to be Laura later. But I don't know how they're going to do that. And again, we're speculating.
That would be fascinating, very fascinating to see that. And I would totally agree and support that.
Yeah. And it'd be interesting to see her re-enter that world.
Yes.
Whichever way they choose to do it.
Yeah.
And who knows where they'll go from here. But it sounds like this series is going to be more faithful to the book from what I'm seeing, rather than a recreation of the 70s TV series, which I think is interesting. We're taking it back to the literary stuff.
Right. So from what we understand, we're going to go back and rewatch the original series as well. We'll comment on that also. From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, the original show, the first season, did stick to one of her books.
It did.
But the seasons after that did not. And of course, they did not stay in Walnut Grove all that time. They moved around quite a bit. So, it'll be interesting to see that.
Yeah. Well, and that was about production, I think, more. So in the 70s, they couldn't afford to make those sets and change them every time. But each of the books is a different location. So right now, I know that they're filming this season near Alberta, Canada. And it's going to stand in for the Wild West of America, the frontier. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that they can't move around. And if this is the case, then we might see the Olsons later in another season or something like that. True. Because they come in later, book 2 or 3, I can't remember exactly which. But it'll be interesting to see if they change the locations for each time. Yeah.
Eager to see what they do with it and how it's rolled out.
Yeah. But they've really given it a sense of that it's more about people moving west. And less about just a small town on the prairie. So
which is totally what was happening at that period of time. And not only was the Ingalls family moving at that time, but my mother is a Patnode, and her family was doing the same thing. So both sides of my family were doing a westward movement at that same time. So really interesting time in our nation's history.
Yeah, homesteading was popular.
Yep.
So there you go. We get a whole series about it.
Yeah. So I think that's what we have for today. I've given you all the updates. Anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I mean, after I covered all these casting things, I feel like we just keep going on and on about these people that are playing all these characters. But I wanted to give you the recap of the old people and then the new people and all that. And then obviously you've got your little news too. So, and then we've got something big coming later, right?
Yeah. So in the next few weeks, there'll be an announcement that I'll share with you. That's something that I'm excited about, and hopefully others will be as well.
Yeah.
I'll share that with you.
All right.
Okay, now you know what we know. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.